Hey, welcome back to the Cop Kitchen. I'm Dave Sheppy. Who doesn't like a good Snickerdoodle cookie? I know I do. That's what we're going to do in the Cop Kitchen today. We're going to make a cream cheese Snickerdoodle. Moist, soft, cinnamon-y, and yummy. This is a good one. We all heard the coronavirus is out there scaring the heck out of everybody. Depending on when you watch this, maybe already done and over with by the time you watch it. If not, and you're watching it right now, recently, as it's going on, this recipe and some of my other recipes, great recipes to make with the kiddos as they're home from school, you're home from work, and they're driving you crazy. Gonna be more days like that, I'm sure. Get some ingredients now. Put some of these recipes together with the kids. Keep you from going crazy and keep them busy. So, with that said, here are the ingredients you're going to need for these cream cheese Snickerdoodles. Well, let's get started. Alrighty then, what you're going to need for these cream cheese Snickerdoodles is 1 cup unsalted butter at room temperature, 4 ounces of cream cheese, that's a half a block, also at room temperature, 1 3/4 cups of regular white sugar, 2 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. That's the wet ingredients. For the dry ingredients, you're going to need 3 1/4 cups of just regular white flour, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, 1 1/2 teaspoons of cream of tartar, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, I use kosher, and 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And also for the cinnamon sugar that we'll be rolling the cookie dough in prior to putting them into the oven will be 3/4 cup of sugar and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. Alright, let's get started. Oh, by the way, I also have made this sugar-free. Nothing sugar-free in this one, full fat, everything, white sugar. But up here, I did make a keto-friendly, diabetic-friendly, sugar-free Snickerdoodle. Give that a try if you're on one of those types of restrictions and or diets. So here we go. First thing we want to do is we want to cream the butter and the cream cheese. And by the way, 1 cup of butter that is unsalted and it is at room temperature. That's 2 sticks of butter. And the cream cheese, I'm using a hand mixer. You can use a stand mixer. And we're just going to cream this together. If it's at room temperature, it's not going to take very long to cream this together. Probably actually do it by hand. I'm going to try to keep the video just rolling so you can see that it doesn't take very long to make this recipe. So we're going to add in our sugar, the vanilla, and we'll get to the eggs in just a second. Get this light and fluffy. We'll add our eggs, 2 large eggs, room temperature. Give that a whiz. Scrape the side of your bowl often. So turn your mixer off when you do that. I'm a risk taker. Just until it's mixed together. That's good. Set that aside and we'll work on the dry ingredients. And I'm going to sift the flour. Again, you want 3 1/4 cups of flour. I've got 2 1/4 cups in here right now. I just once again wanted to show everybody how you're supposed to do in measuring your flour. You can weigh it. I do for some things. Snickerdoodles, I don't. Take a spoon and your cup and just lay it in there rather than dipping in and packing that flour down and getting maybe too much flour in your recipe. Nah, just sprinkle the flour in. I'm sure everybody knew this. It's not so important with the Snickerdoodles probably, but if you're making bread, like I've said before, bread recipes, which I'll be doing, you need to be pretty exact. So that's 3 1/4 cups of flour. Take that off. And then I've got all the other, the cornstarch, 1 teaspoon, 1 1/2 teaspoons of cream of tartar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, I use kosher, and 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Got it right in here. We're just going to dump that in there, and then we'll give it a sift. And this is usually like a mess. I don't think you have to sift this, but I did. Okay, give that a little whisk, because it is whiskey business, you know. Me cooking, it always is. All right, that's it. I make a little well, little hole in the center, because we're gonna dump what's in there. Quick stir, make sure I got everything off the bottom. I'm not going to use a mixer on this, I'm going to do it by hand. And we'll just mix it around. You can set your oven to 350 degrees, preheat. You don't have to do it right now because we're going to put this batter in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes or so. You can put it in longer. I usually do it 2 ways. I put it before I make the cookie balls and roll it, after I roll it in the sugar. I put it on the cookie sheet, then I put it back in the refrigerator for another 5 minutes or so, just so they don't flatten out too much as they're cooking. And when we do put them in the oven, 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. Check your oven and check the doneness of them at 10 minutes. I know in my oven, 11 minutes exactly, and they come out. Yours might take a little longer. They could take up to 13 minutes or so. Just keep an eye on them. Okay, that's it. The batter is done. I'm going to put some cling wrap on this, put it in the refrigerator, and I'll see you back in here about 10 minutes or so. For you, it's going to be that quick for you guys. All right, my batter has been in the, I almost said oven again, refrigerator for about 10 or 15 minutes. I've got my pan lined with my silicone lining for cookies. I'll say it again, you hear me say it every time. If you haven't tried one of these, I'll leave a link down in the description I have no affiliation with Amazon. That's where I got it. My 1.5 tablespoon scoop. I've got my cinnamon sugar. And here we go. What I like to do is just plop them on the sheet first and then roll them after I get them all on the sheet. I will speed this up just a little bit so you don't have to wait too long for me to scoop these out. Here we go. And the last one, doing these with the kiddos, make sure they wash their hands.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me?
And here we go. We just roll these into a little ball. Roll them around in the sugar and place them back on the mat. If they seem like they're a little too soft and you can't get them rolled into cinnamon really easy, just put them in the refrigerator for a little while. I think I'm going to be okay. I will be putting them back in the refrigerator just to firm them up just a little bit more before I put them in the oven. Okay, last one. Now, what I usually do now is I'll preheat my oven to 350. I'll put these in the refrigerator. I'll put this back in the refrigerator. I'll cover it back up. And once my oven's preheated, I'll pop them in there for 11 minutes for me. I'll be right back. Okay, so they're out of the refrigerator, firmed up good. You don't have to flatten these down. I suppose you could if you wanted a little flatter, rounder cookie, but these do pretty good. They puff up pretty good. So in the oven they go. I have set my timer for 11 minutes because I know that's how long I take in my oven. Just keep an eye on yours. I'll be back when they come out. I'm going to put a couple more in another cookie sheet. So see you in a few minutes. So out of the oven, 11 minutes exactly. As you can see, they're a little soft. They'll flatten just a little bit as they cool. I'm going to let them cool on the pan for a couple minutes, and then we'll move them over to the infamous cooling rack. See you then. Cooled 15 minutes, probably 10. The pan's cool, and again, you're gonna hear me say this over and over again. Look at this. No spatula or nothing needed. Just lift them off, put them on the cooling rack. They did flatten a little bit. They look yummy. Just the right amount of cinnamon sugar on them. And that's it. I've got another batch ready to come out. Once I get them all done, maybe we'll take a taste test. See you then. So there they are. Cool, plated up. Who doesn't like a big rounding plate of Snickerdoodles? I know I do. Again, before we taste test, these are a great recipe to make with the kids during this time of confusion with the coronavirus. Kids are going to be home from school. Again, get all the ingredients, it's not a whole lot, and make them. I'm also going to be putting a link down in the description to the CDC to go to help you with making some choices on what to do during this time. And with that said, let's take a look at the cookies. Right off the bat, inside are just soft and gooey, not too gooey. The cinnamon sugar, and there's cinnamon within the cookie, if you like cinnamon. It's really a good snack. These are dunkable. Now I do have, like I said, up here I have a keto-friendly, diabetic-friendly, sugar-free Snickerdoodle for those people who are on diabetes diets such as myself, with the exception of just taste testing a little bit. So check those out, and until then, keep yourself safe. Make sure you take precautions. Wash your hands. I'll show you that little video of the washing hands technique again. And until then, I'll see you next time. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bells, leave a comment, and until then, be safe out there. I'm 10-7. Wash your hands before eating your cookies.